pandemic is leading to more demand for delivery drivers who need to take special new health precautions. Many are warned about passing on false COVID information and the need to double-check health facts. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DI Headlines. Let's get started. During the pandemic, delivery workers are risking their health to earn more money. Many don't have a place to rest as the public parks and restaurants are closed for dining in. When taking their mask off in public for eating, they risk being reported and fined for not following safety measures. Let's see how they protect themselves during this time.
As soon as an order is placed, this delivery worker rushes to the restaurant to pick up the meal, then deliver it. This is repeated many times throughout the day. Right now in Taiwan, it's hard to go anywhere without having to register for contact tracing, disinfecting, and other safety measures.
Due to current pandemic measures, we have changed our way of handling deliveries. We will place the meal on the counter, and the delivery worker has to implement their real name registration for contact tracing, disinfect, and then pick up their designated meal themselves.
With the spread of COVID, businesses are slow, but that's not the case for delivery workers.
The orders have increased because the demand has gone up since going to the market or stores have bigger risks of cluster infection, so just having the delivery workers pick up meals decreases much of that risk.
When people are afraid to leave their home, food delivery platforms become the stay-at-home's best friend. How can the company keep track workers are following safety precautions?
We need to wear a mask, take a picture, and send it to the company before receiving orders.
Before starting their gig for the day, the delivery workers must upload a pic of them wearing a mask, while payment and delivery options are limited to contactless only.
Picking up and dropping off the delivery is more work, but we still keep to the safety procedures.
Shi Wei-an has been delivering for 2 years now, and since the country's COVID level has risen to 3, his income has also increased. But really, he's gambling with his health each day while working. Fortunately, he had the foresight to insure himself.
I purchased pandemic insurance. It wasn't required by the company, but I wanted it. I purchased this when the pandemic first started, as it's a worry in our line of work.
Shi says despite orders continuing to come in, he doesn't want to risk his own life while making money. He doesn't take off his mask and constantly disinfects his hands with alcohol. The worst is not being able to find a restroom. Thankfully, the company has a map of all the public restrooms available in Taiwan for the delivery partners.
The map of bathrooms isn't limited to just Taipei or New Taipei City. For those places with many confirmed cases, it's island-wide.
He says being a delivery worker stands out too much. They are often targeted. Sometimes when they take off their mask for 1 second, they will get fined.
Sometimes citizens will take pictures and report you using their dash cam. When Level 3 COVID alert was imposed, some of the other delivery partners were reported for it and they were fined.
Now he will hide in the alleyway to drink a beverage in peace, just so he doesn't get reported, as there's nowhere for him to wait until his next order comes in.
Right, there's not anywhere to rest right now, not even the park.
Although a delivery worker is not a healthcare professional, due to the increase in COVID cases, they are just as essential in society right now.
Bye-bye. In Taiwan, the pandemic has not only affected the tourism industry, but also the restaurant industry. A high-end vegetarian buffet restaurant in Taipei City had to close their doors and sell lunch boxes instead. Coincidentally, Tzu Chi volunteers wanted to send free lunches to hospitals and police units, so they ordered meals from this restaurant owner. Take a look.
One instruction and one action. The momentum is smooth and flowing, and the movement is done in one go. Do not be surprised, this bentong production line is located in Banquet Hall.
Because of the pandemic, for us the impact is very, very large.
The high-end vegetarian restaurant on Nanjing East Road in Taipei City, after the pandemic hit, was transformed into a Bandung business. This time, the owner took orders from慈济volunteers, mainly for hospitals, police units, to provide more than 900 vegetarian meals in the morning and evening.
Because Tzu commissioners are our customers, they know that especially the medical staff as well as units in the police sector need someone to send them lunches.
The vegetarian restaurant has been in business for 6 years and has nearly 40 employees. The owner said that this is not the first time the pandemic has impacted his business. The last time was around the Lunar New Year. There were more employees than dining guests. He thought he had outlived those problems, but who knew it was just the beginning of a long battle.
The first change is that employees who have accumulated leave will of course take vacation first and then choose half pay, or if the pandemic lasts longer, we'll consider unpaid leave. And also we'll encourage employees to go and find part-time jobs.
Located in prime location, coupled with large area, the rent cost is around $32,000 each month, which it is already a discounted price given by landlord. In addition to around $36,000 of personal costs each month, the entire restaurant will cost $72,000 in a month for basic maintenance fee.
Fortunately, the landlord is considerate and reduces rents, but it may not be enough because the turnover can't afford all the costs.
A bandung is $3.60, and there are various vegetables which are very attractive and very cost-effective. The restaurant chef said that it is quite difficult for them to enter the takeaway market with fresh ingredients.
Everyone makes a bento. Like most of the ingredients are frozen food, and there are also preparation packs. At present, many groups are also doing it. Generally speaking, if you have a restaurant like ours, it will naturally have a greater impact.
The kitchen is open, and the service staff packs lunches, and everyone is in good understanding. Even though the working hours have been reduced to less than half of what they used to be, many people still miss their busy lives. Because at this time, a job is really hard to find.
Now, if you are actually looking for a job, it is not easy to find a job in a restaurant because the restaurant is closed.
These days, who doesn't want to support their family? The boss said that at this present, employees are still paid their salaries normally, but he doesn't know how long this situation can last.
At present, it can only be supported by the business of lunch delivery. There is no other choice.
The boss is very grateful that when慈济volunteers do good deeds, they will think of them for the first time. Allowing them to do business and care about the society is just that no matter how much help, everyone still hopes that the pandemic will end soon and give them a normal life.
Tzu Chi Foundation sent care packages to Taitung Social Affairs Department for residents who are undergoing quarantine at home. The county government has also set up quick screening stations at the airport to improve pandemic prevention for outlying islands. Here's more.
Boxes of supplies, which were filled with love and food, were being packed in Huanian suitable to make care packages for Taitung.
330 packs are for the social department to distribute to people who are under quarantine at home. The other 100 are for the residents in Taima Borough and Jingfeng Township.
Apart from the supplies provided by private organizations, the Taitung County government has set up a quick screening station at Fengnian Airport to protect the health of the residents on the outlying islands.
We have also communicated with airlines. Hopefully, everyone can come to our quick screening station to do a quick test. After all, the residents of Lanyu and Green Island are quite close, We hope that in the days to come, everyone will work together to fight against the pandemic.
The pandemic in Taiwan continues to spread. Combining the resources of all parties, everyone is united in fighting the virus and looking forward to returning to normal life as soon as possible.
Frontline medical and pandemic prevention work is very hard. A pair of 6-year-old twin boys made a card to help their mother, who is a nurse working in negative pressure isolation ward at Kaohsiung Medical University. When sent to the hospital, the nurse received this gift and recorded a video to reply, saying she'll be very brave. Take a look. The Qing Jingling Foundation initiated a message board on the internet to support medical care workers. In just a few days, messages flooded in. Cards, drawings, and hundreds of messages in support of frontline workers came in. But a twins drawing attracted the attention of many as it read, "Our mom is a nurse in the negative pressure isolation ward. I want the editor to help give her this drawing." The foundation made a lunchbox and drink, an encouragement card on it, and sent it to the hospital. Outside the tense negative pressure isolation ward, there was a sudden burst of laughter. This mother's heart was warmed. Her eyes were wet with tears. Under the pressure of the pandemic, she had no extra physical strength to accompany her children when she returned home, but she encouraged the twin sons to draw and express their feelings. A 6-year-old child drew the sun shining outside the high walls of the hospital. Even if the ambulance shuttles back and forth, the nurse's mother could still smile.
Medical staff and frontline staff all need support and encouragement of family members or the support of some members of the public. This will make us more brave to fight this pandemic.
The two drawings show the love of her children and also convey strength to every brave medical care worker on the front lines. The pandemic is heating up and false information is everywhere. The Taiwan FactCheck Center has issued more than 200 reports since the beginning of the pandemic last year. Reminds everyone to fact-check messages instead of immediately forwarding them.
There is an online rumor saying that drinking ice water and eating ice products will weaken the bronchia and be susceptible to the novel coronavirus. Doctors said that eating ice products may trigger asthma for patients with allergic asthma, but it has nothing to do with increasing the risk of being infected with the novel coronavirus. Also, another online rumor says that walking the dog outside may bring the virus home to people. But according to the current evidence, even if an animal is infected, it cannot be transmitted to humans because of the low amount of virus in the body.
Just from May 1st to May 20th, a lot of false information came out, disrupting our entire epidemic prevention measures and social stability. Therefore, we must strictly tell these rumor spreaders that if you dare to spread it, we will investigate and deal with it with a strong penalty.
The COVID pandemic is very severe, and rumors are everywhere. A rumor has recently spread in social media that there is a self-test method for the novel coronavirus.
深吸一口气，屏住呼吸10秒以上。如果你能够成功的完成，它没有咳嗽，没有不适、闷热或紧张等，证明你没有纤维化在肺部。
This is not an accurate statement. Holding your breath for 10 seconds can indeed test whether your lung function is good or not, but it doesn't test for COVID infection. Severe COVID cases often lead to pulmonary fibrosis, yet the symptoms of most of the COVID cases are now mild. In fact, it is not easy to get pulmonary fibrosis.
会纤维化的。
Rumors also mention that if a confirmed case has no signs of infection at the beginning, when he is sent to the hospital, his lungs may have 50% fibrosis, which is unreasonable. The doctor said that fibrosis is a possible side effect that the critical patient may have after being put on a ventilator, which is not a problem when they are sent to the hospital.
This wrong message about COVID testing may delay medical treatment because you mistakenly believe that since you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, you are not COVID positive.
To prevent virus infection, how to wear masks is also the focus of the public. Online rumors say that wearing 2 masks is more effective than wearing one for epidemic prevention. This is based on the US CDC's updated guidelines on mass epidemic prevention on the 6th of April 2021. The content also specifically mentions that the inner layer of the double-layer masks should be a surgical mask, while the outer layer should be a fabric mask.
When you want to do this, one thing to consider is comfort and durability. If you wear 2 layers of masks and you can breathe out normally, then it is acceptable to you. Of course, it doesn't matter. But if you wear 2 layers and you feel very stuffy and can't breathe, and you would like to pull down the mask to take a breath, this will instead increase the risk of infection.
The US CDC also suggests that masks should be folded to make it 3-dimensional and better fit. But experts say that it varies from person to person because everyone's face shape is different.
When you think the mask you wear is fit enough, you should also pay attention to the size of the mask. Maybe it is too close to your face, and when you move your mouth or talk, there may be a big gap on the side.
There are indeed many rumors about COVID which are ever-changing. Last year, there was a rumor saying that drinking salt water could kill the virus. While this year, there have even been pictures or other ways to spread the rumors continuously.
I don't really believe it. I think that if this is true, then everyone shouldn't get sick, right?
只是说暂时的那种缓和大概是有作用啦。
有一点半信半疑。
Because of the seriousness of the epidemic, rumors spread everywhere, and people are more likely to believe that they are true.
At present, people can only rely on the body's own immunity to get rid of the virus. If you are infected, it's impossible to use mouthwash, salty water, or some other methods to kill the virus.
We had actually issued a verification report last year already. In fact, this approach is invalid. It just reflected our nervousness and anxiety about this COVID-19 and want to take some self-protection actions.
Facing the increasingly tense of the domestic epidemic situation and the spreading of false information, everyone is reminded not to relay the rumor immediately once you received it. You can check it on the website of the Ministry of Health and Welfare or the Taiwan FactCheck Center to stop the false information from spreading.
Chinese people believe the gates of hell are open during the 7th lunar month, leading to offerings as well as the burning of incense and joss paper. Master Zheng Yan calls this month an auspicious month, has instead encouraged followers to do good deeds and acts of filial piety during this month. For many, the 7th month of the lunar calendar is commonly known as Ghost Month. In order to express their devotion to ghosts and gods, local people have the custom of burning incense and joss paper.
300 years ago, many ancestors came to Taiwan, and many may have been involved in Zhangchuan gang fights, leading to many lonely ghosts. There is a common perception amongst the public which hope to get along with these lonely souls and ghosts to burn joss paper. This is just something that they imagined which helped them comfort themselves.
Tzu volunteer Tan Pinyo frankly said that before joining Tzu, she was always worried that the joss paper she burned was not enough and her sacrifices were not plentiful enough, and she was afraid to discuss this as it would be taboo and cause trouble. It wasn't until she heard Master Zheng Yan's teaching that she understood the true meaning of Pudu, which is community around us and saving all living beings from suffering.
I just want to say, since Pudu means helping, why don't I help more people with the money spent on just paper? I'm very good at worship, but I'm afraid if I don't worship well, Zhongyuan God will be angry. But he just wants to bless me and hopes to bless more people. So I want to donate the money that I would have offered as a sacrifice.
Inspired by this idea, Tan Pinyo used the names of Zhongyuan God and Earth God to donate the money she originally used to buy joss paper to charity, instead of wasting it in traditional worship. Thus, she also avoided the pollution it caused. She also closed the casino and loan sharking business and later opened a vegetarian business. The staff in the shop, a single mother of 4 children, followed her in donating money originally spent on joss paper.
Don't exchange real money for fake money and burn it. If I'm able, I would like to donate more money.
Tan Pinyo's actions for 20 years has inspired many people to follow the true meaning of Pudu.
The master said that there is always a good time, always a good day. I used to think that burning joss paper was the same, but then Tan Pinyo told me that she didn't burn it. And I started and I didn't think my business was any worse, and we are now better than before.
When I don't worship, I was afraid of being oppressed by outside spirits. It's easier now because I don't worry about bad things happening if I didn't worship, or whether I would be sorry if I didn't worship.
Can we be self-conscious from the perspective of practice and why we should rely on an external, unknowable forces to judge us? This just increases our fear.
Looking back on September 10, 1974, when the Master spoke at the Tzu Association, she said that Pudu's true meaning is not to worship unseen ghosts and gods, but to give needed care and help to those around you. In the 7th month of the lunar calendar, the Master expects Tzu people to go deep into the community, promote righteous knowledge and right views, and implement the true meaning of Pudu.
就是敢若安尼金纸烧烧的，要从啥好兄弟保庇我吼，做事业啦趁钱啦囝到大汉啦，家庭平安啦，是吗？其实呢，烧遐尼诚多的金纸啦，迄个金纸拢是差不多这个回收再造吼。
In recent years, environmental awareness has risen and temples have also taken the lead in embodying Pudu's true meaning. Since last year, Longshan Temple has changed its 281-year tradition, no longer provides or burns incense in the temple. Following the implementation of the ban on incense and gifts in Xintian Temple in 2014, Longshan Temple also considered reducing air pollution and maintaining public health, and replaced it with simple prayer.
I think this is very good and environmentally friendly.
Just use your heart. Don't talk about burning incense.
I've always believed that changing customs starts from our hearts. If we think positive things in our hearts, of course we will naturally do it in a positive direction. If we always wanted to do what we did in the past when we are challenged, then we can't make any changes.
Being pious and doing good deeds is more important than tangible items like burning incense. From a Buddhist perspective, the 7th month of the lunar calendar is an auspicious month and one for thanks and filial piety month. Simply continuing folk beliefs is of no use, as we should think of the earth and use wisdom to appreciate the modern true meaning of Pudu. Tzuji's Bolivia office completed 10 distributions, helping 3,700 families in 2010. COVID regulations has prevented such distributions this year, as one volunteer held a family-based event instead. Thank you for watching. We leave you with these images. Goodbye.